think you can make the argument that Jonathan Bing's type of room is what the biggest contributor to ruining chatter, but rooms like his are what ruin Clubhouse also. So maybe you can make the argument that that Jonathan Bing is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to social.
Are you just the Million Man Marathon guy?
Well,
Debate the News more, but he was a.
Yeah, Million Marathon was Nelson. I thought Nelson did a good job. I think Jonathan Bing was always kind of like a sidekick. Like he used to do real estate rooms with Jerry Malcolm, and Jerry Malcolm was the draw for that. When he was in Million Marathon, Nelson was the draw for that. Debate the News, similar. Like nobody goes to listen to hear what the fuck Jonathan Bing has to say. They just don't.
Is chatter still a thing? Like, is that still, is that like actually alive? Do people go to it?
Well, let's let David respond to the question that Roger asked.
Roger has a great question. We talked about it, but it's occurred to me, because we haven't heard Kelly, and I'm just going to say this. You're what I've missed in Clubhouse. I didn't realize it until I heard you say, but thanks for your point of view and how rational you are. So it's been good to have you back.
I'm offended, David.
I guess I should be proud.
Thank you, David. I've missed these stages, but carry on. So go ahead. Go ahead, Dismal.
No, I was asking, is chatter still like live? Is that something that people actually are actively on?
Yes.
Well, obviously not now, because nobody in this room is on it now, I would imagine.
Yes, after now.
Yeah, I mean, they just released, I think within the last month, they did a public release. They've been on beta this whole time.
What are your thoughts on it? Like, I'm
going to respond about Jonathan Bing, because this isn't this isn't like a chatter combo, or we might go there, but I'm going to respond about Bing to Roger, because it's more on the topic of what ruined it. Like, Bing is a good soldier, content-wise, though, without Nelson, it's difficult, man, and I need to hold that against Bing, because when he's not being an asshole on purpose, then can you blame him for, I don't know, being a good soldier in that way, but when he is an asshole on purpose, it's really easy to say that, like, he is a fucking detriment to chatter. Yeah, he really fucking sucked on Clubhouse. And you're completely right, and I guess this depends on how you feel about the conflict in general. A really shining moment for him was on Spaces talking about that conflict. And I actually wonder if it's because he wasn't a soldier in that moment. He was actually, talking about something he believed in. Because he's even better in the real estate rooms than he is in the other rooms. I don't know. Like, I know lots of people are clout chasers, and the ones that are good at it you believe that they give a shit about what they're talking about, even if it's something completely stupid. The ones that are bad can't convince you of that. And most people are just bad at pretending to give a shit about something. Most people are not naturally gifted salespeople. Interestingly enough, I guess that's how he's made his money. But he can't translate it into every topic. And he is just he's petty. That's why it's not because he's disagreeable or boring, it's because he's petty. That's what makes him toxic.
Yeah.
From my optic, what I witnessed, at least with people that migrated to chatter, was that it was like absorbed so I'm curious, how has that app performed?
Why would you say they're trolls?
They were not invited. They didn't join Clubhouse with invitations or people that can vouch for them. They were the like worst of the worst.
Victoria, if you had to say, you've been in my rooms a lot. What would you say are the worst qualities that I have in these spaces? What do I do wrong? What critique?
Do you really want honest feedback?
Yes.
First of all?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
Okay. I would say that you sometimes dominate discussions. You mute people or allow people to moderate that maybe aren't qualified to moderate, and so they mute people mid-sentence. But I think you do, like, I would offer like as like good or positive feedback that you are able to bring people in, and people obviously want to join your conversations. So you're succeeding at that.
Yeah, I think ideally less moderators are better. The only reason you don't have a mod badge is because you have a pink ticket that modded everybody else.
I don't feel comfortable joining a club called In the Muff. It just, like, it reads awkward to me.
What do you mean?
What does it mean to you?
In the muff, it's a place where we gather. We're in the muff.
When I read it, I didn't have that same observation.
Oh, well, help me understand, like, because I always like to improve. What did you read it as?
Like, basically just an indecent name.
Oh, I see. Like, okay, so I hear what you're saying. So, like, where is the etymology of this term? Have you ever played golf?
No. I mean, I guess technically I have, but I'm not good at it.
Okay, got it. Yeah, well, there's a term where, if the ball is in the muff, you got to play it from the muff.
I just think that you could probably change the name of the club, and it could be like more positively responded to. People would want to join.
Okay, so what if I changed it to being positive in the muff?
I mean, honestly, like, it doesn't matter because, as you so rightly highlighted, the app is in decline, and people are only like seeing rooms based on who they follow. So the titles no longer matter, apparently.
Yeah, well, I think they do. I mean, like, look, if you think that it would draw more people into a discussion if I changed the name of the house, I could be open to that type of feedback. It sounds like you read this to be something that I didn't intend it to.
I read it to be pretty offensive, and that's okay. Like, you have built a community of people that like you, and
would you say you like me?
I respect you, and I've already yes, we've hosted a room together previously.
I mean, that's like almost the equivalent of going steady, I would say.
I mean, that makes the name of the house seem more appropriate.
So getting back to you respect me, and I appreciate it. You know, respect is a good thing, and it's typically earned. But my question was, do you like me? You kind of pivoted from that. Do you not like me, Victoria?
Is this a serious question?
It's a small room. I thought we were just you know, I was asking for feedback, and so I'm just curious. Like it sounds almost as if you want to say that you don't like me, and I would welcome the feedback if that's true. Oh, are you on the phone? I see your phone emoji. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I would welcome your feedback. If you don't like me, I'd love to understand the feedback of why. You know, like I'm in a growth phase of my life, and so if maybe you provide some feedback, maybe I can make some changes, and who knows, next, you know, maybe it'll lead to you liking me more.
Sorry, I keep getting a call. No, I think, I mean, yeah, I generally like you. I like Kelly. I like even Brad and many people in this application that
Who do you like better,
are
me or Brad?
sometimes.
Who do you like better, me or Brad?
Sorry, what?
Who do you like
This
better?
isn't a but there is no
Dudes, there's always a competition.
there is no competition here.
There definitely is.
Liking people, like, I have an immense amount of respect for the fact that you are leading rooms on a routine basis and you're able to attract a crowd and gather people. That, like, social intelligence, I think.
But your dislike for me, your dislike for me though, is it because I'm black?
Oh God.
Okay, carry it back to Kelly's like previous comment about some of these trolls.
Brad, you win. You won her over.
I concede before any challenges preempted, so she's all yours.
She can't resist Thomas Hayden Church.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Victoria, for the record, I like you. Period.
Are you guys still going steady after this?
I don't know. This sounds like she's breaking up with me.
But there's a new word, Roger, called exclusive. You don't have to be steady, but you can be exclusive.
Can we be situational?
Even
I don't know. This whole conversation is making me pretty uncomfortable.
Is that because you're attracted to me?
That usually happens, right? You make people nervous when they're attracted to you. Would you say you're nervous?
Well, we know she's not attracted to me, Roger, so I think you're gonna win out on this one. Her palms might be sweaty right now, and she's having problems on you.
That's okay. I don't want to badger her. I like Victoria. Like I said, I like Victoria. And we hosted a room. I thought it was a good room. Thought she did a great job of co-hosting with me. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that was. I don't think wedding bells were happening, but I think for Clubhouse we went steady once.
This is less steady for sure, though.
Yeah, if it did, like this, I'm getting the same feeling that you get when, you know, the breakup is imminent. I don't feel like we broke up quite yet, but I feel like she's looking around.
Is this like your second longest relationship on Clubhouse here that you've had, or situational ship, if you want to?
I don't know, man. The one that I had with Monica has been like off and on for like 4 years. So that one's been that's been my go-to. Although Monica and I have an open relationship now.
Is she even on this app anymore? I don't hear her voice.
Would you acknowledge that she has one of the best voices of this app?
Vocal fry is all I can say.
Well, that's necro. I don't think, do we think Monica has vocal fry? It's something more like baby stuff.
She makes every topic seem like she is entering the world for the first time. So I agree.
Her voice reminds me of all those stupid Disney princess movies from back in the 90s that I was forced to have to watch or take my daughters to. That I or like the movie The Last Unicorn, the voices on that one. That's how you can tell my father. The fact that I know a cartoon named The Last Unicorn.
Let me start this live.
I think that's what her voice reminds me of. And I just like, as a parent, you're just annoyed at the weird notion of that high-pitched voice.
You're a good dad, Brad.
I have to say though, and Roger's the person who showcased this. For all the reasons people state when they say they don't like Monica or complain about her, the go-tos are, at least as far as I know, still without evidence. Is that right, Roger?
I wanted to just state for the record, when
I'm just curious. Like you were the one complaining about socialization.
when Monica was
Hold on. I just asked a question. I don't expect you to pay attention to me. A lot of people don't pay attention to me. Honestly, I probably just shouldn't say anything. But usually you can tell by the tone of someone's voice and the inflection at the end of a sentence whether or not they asked a question or just made a statement. And the polite thing to do, if one were well socialized, is to allow anyone to answer it. You sound too eager when you jump in that quickly. You don't have to give enough time for me to be sufficiently responded to at all. But to prevent from embarrassing yourself, you should pause so that people don't think that you were poorly social.
Can I answer your question, Kelly? Yeah, I don't think there's sufficient evidence to say that Monica is a racist. In fact, I used to challenge people if they had a screenshot or if they had a clip of her saying something racist, go ahead and expose it and I would pay $500. And nobody can answer that challenge. Kima, do you remember what you offered as a submission of evidence that Monica was racist? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
With the ghost?
It wasn't to win $1,000 that this crucial race.
Do you still have that image? Could you post it?
I'll try to find it. I got something to say.
Alright, cool. But I don't want to continue talking about Monica. I don't want to make Victoria uncomfortable. And me talking about other women, considering that we were going steady on the clubhouse. I want to be respectful.
I just wanted to go on record stating that I don't like Monica. I don't like her ideas. I don't think she has great things to say in general. However, when her account was eliminated, I still defended that Clubhouse bring her back. I thought that was wrong. I think if you disagree with somebody unfortunately, you don't just eliminate them. You don't just block people. And I think that's where society is like breaking apart from my perspective.
Wait a minute, you just stated that Clubhouse needed to remove people, that you wanted it back to invite only, and that you wanted other voices to be silent, particularly those that disagreed with your viewpoints. Earlier, I'm a bit confused by your two statements now.
But Clubhouse is open to everyone, and I don't think Monica is a troll, for example. I think some of her arguments are probably not well thought through, but I don't fault her for that. What I was referring to by the opening of Clubhouse was the invitation to trolls, essentially. There are a lot of people that have multiple accounts. There are people, including in this room right now. I think Anon with a clown is Edmonds, for example. That guy, I would definitely ask to leave if I were
Hold on. No, I've got it on good authority that Anon with the fingernail polish at the very bottom is Edmund.
Okay, well, whatever the case, yeah. So these gentlemen, not gentle, not men, arguably, I don't want them in this app.
Why?
I don't think they contribute value.
Why? Because I think Edmund is actually quite intelligent. I think he can articulate a position. I think he does.
Has he ever actually been on the stage?
Yes.
I have never heard this.
Last night he was on the stage. We were talking about his campaign. He's running for Congress. We talked about my disapproval of him recording rooms back when the app didn't have this anonymous feature, but I've acquiesced because the app itself has basically said that Edmund is one. Because as you pointed out, he's in the room. You were wrong about which account, but that's irrelevant. He's here. He's streaming the room as we're speaking. And the thing is, there's nothing I can do about it. Once upon a time, if I would have identified his account, knowing that we were streaming, I could remove him from the room. And we had a lengthy conversation, hours last night, talking about the pros and cons of that. And, people made points about their privacy and, whether they consent to be recorded or streamed. And all of those things are moot points at this point, because the app itself has said that not only are they not going to stop them, they're not going to give me the tools to do anything about it. And so we just have to live within the confines of the world that we live in. And so the reality is, he can stream the rooms, and we can then make a choice, knowing that he's going to be in here, to either not join the room, maybe not use the app at all. We could show up in the room and not talk. We can listen, or maybe we modify the kind of things that we talk about. But the option that we don't have is removing him from the room. So we just have to accept that, and then we have to modify our behavior based on our own comfort level.
See, I think that's where we potentially approach the world differently. I don't approve of garbage communities, and this is a communal space.
Like Haiti?
And sorry?
You said you don't approve of garbage communities, and I said like Haiti?
I just don't think that the world deserves to live in garbage. And
That's like
we need
Haiti?
to always constantly look at improving. If we see a problem with the, I don't know, with the individuals that are here, like, that's why there are prisons, that's why there are insane asylums, and maybe he belongs there, but certainly not contributing
Are you
to
a
garbage.
clinician? Can you diagnose somebody from Clubhouse? I mean, we had a lot of people that were, quote, life coaches and therapists therapist and, multiple alphabets after their name, and they were like very quick to diagnose people. But are you a clinician that's able to make that determination?
Before you answer that, Victoria, let me, actually, go ahead and answer that, and then I have a question for you, or actually a comment. I'll leave it a question. Go ahead, answer that.
No, I'm not a doctor. I wasn't referring to this person as anything more than what he has presented himself.
Maybe he
I
just likes to
observed.
blow. Maybe he just likes to blow off steam, and this is fun to him. Some of us go to the gym and work out, and then you got guys that will flex in front of the mirrors for half an hour while they're working out because they lifted 10 pounds on a weight.
Hey, let's not make it personal, Brad. Come on.
You've got other guys that think they're outdoorsmen because they went camping at a recreational park one time, and they're all of a sudden now fucking Bear Grylls. I mean, there's all sorts. There's people that on this app have told me they know all about climbing, but the only place they climb is been in a gym. They only climb the little prefab walls that are there for their safety on the grapevine. I mean, I think Edmund is just doing what he finds fun. This is fun for him.
So, again, as somebody that has, and we had this conversation with him last night on the stage, he has trolled me harder than he's trolled anybody on this app. He created many fake profiles with my image and my username, created YouTube channels. He even did a movie, Roger Mayhem the movie. Nobody got trolled harder than me, and I didn't appreciate it all. But I will say, some of the things he's doing right now is incredible. And let me just get your opinion on this, Victoria. He doesn't just stream this room. He'll go into a room where you have people that are sympathizers with terrorist organizations, and he streams that. Not only does he stream it, he sends this off to news outlets as well as government agencies for law enforcement to review it, to figure out, who are these people that are sympathizing with the terrorists? Are they giving aid in terms of money? Are they terrorists themselves? I think the work that he's doing right now, it's a service to Clubhouse, and it sounds crazy coming from me because I swear there's not a single soul on this app that was trolled harder by him than me. A close second would be Dr. Jordan, and Dr. Jordan and I were both in the room last night, and we agree that the things that he's doing right now outweighs, whatever discomfort we may have had with being trolled, and so I think everybody's free to have their own opinion. If you don't like him, you don't like him. That's fine. But if
I
he
haven't heard him. I don't have an opinion on somebody I've not heard.
all right,
All I know is that
let me see if I.
all that
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
the-
Hold on. Let me see if I can get him into the room.
Can I add while you're doing that? In one of our other rooms that we gather, someone has his home address, which is on Edmond Street, I believe in Illinois. And when we see him as a non at the bottom recording the room, we announce his full home address, and he leaves. Doesn't like that.
Wait, who are we talking about?
I'm not Edmund. We're talking about America.
There's
We're talking about someone with 50 burner phones who's recording people and putting our voices on YouTube live.
we don't actually know if his name is Edmund.
We know his
Say his name is John Kitover.
Yeah, we know his name is John Kitover. He's running for Congress, and
In a district he doesn't live in.
And yeah, definitely not a great guy. Somebody that we would typically just label as a douche and hope that he can encourage him to be better as a human.
Why is he doing all this if he's running for Congress? Like, I don't think that's helpful.
We thought that. He's
You
been doing it for
know,
6 years.
we live in a country with Donald Trump at the helm. These aren't like good or moral people.
Do your best, Victoria.
Y'all said he's from Michigan?
No, he's from Chicago.
Chicago.
So, my request to him was to make the videos that he uploads onto YouTube more easily searchable in ways that we can find relevant content, because he streams this room, which this room's boring as fuck. We all know that. Like, I mean, we like each other, but at the end of the day, there's nothing too sensational going on in here. But in the lefty rooms, they're like talking all kinds of crazy shit. I think the fact that he's got a video repository that sits in the cloud and on YouTube that we could go access, if we were smart, we would just simply, if he would make it more easily searchable, we could go find the most detestable things that people are saying elsewhere in this app, and then we could play those clips, then talk about those clips. I think he is crowdsourcing content that we could then source and zoom in on and create our own derivative content from. And for that, I believe that he's providing a huge service.
He needs to do that for healthy debates. Like, you know how we used to have those rooms? Like, if we had him doing that, that would be cool.
For sure.
But I don't know. But does he do it to, like, what is he doing it for? Like, have y'all ever, like, asked him, like, why does he do it?
He's a comedian and an artist, is his words on it.
I just think it's just a little weird. I don't know.
That's fine.
It's incredibly weird, but also I still haven't heard his voice at all, like in any of the spaces I've been in. So great that you had an opportunity to meet him and quote unquote vet him, but from my perspective, this is just some like weird troll in his mother's basement. It's like the incel community running for Congress.
Victoria
Like I
just
said,
called me
you're
the
free to
incel
dislike
community
it.
running
You're
for
free
Congress.
to not like what he's doing. All I'm suggesting is that now that Clubhouse has made it clear that they condone this type of thing, we just have to get used to it. And I think that part of adapting to that is to figure out, okay, if it's inevitable that it's going to be done, how do we work together to make it better? Maybe if somebody started crashing out really hard here, it would be really nice to have like a bat signal to be like, dude, where the fuck is your phone? Like right now he's recording this, but if he wasn't, it would be very nice to be able to get a message, say, dude, you gotta get in here, you gotta record this. And some of the stuff he captures is really fucking good. He's got a clip of Dr. Jordan getting yelled at by these Jewish women, and it's some of the best content ever. He's captured some great shit, and I'm looking for the clip. Somebody owes me. They said that they're gonna find it, where there's something where Goat got shut down pretty hardcore, and so I'm waiting to get that content. Well, once I get that clip, we'll definitely play them. Akima, thanks for changing your PTR. The PTR that Akima has is the image that he says serves as evidence that Miss Monica is a racist. I look at this picture and I think it's cute. It's clearly a ghost, and and it's it's boo sheet. And boo is a thing that goes to this. They scare people. So
When did trolling people become like an entrepreneurial? I have no idea why. Why is this? Why are these the values that we would want to instill?
Are you trolling us though? I'm curious. Like I feel like this could be a troll. So is this like performance art?
Why? Okay. Why do we want to dehumanize people? Like, I literally, when Monica was
Well,
banned,
why don't you want to allow people to finish a sentence, but be like, reply to that sentence maybe? Like why is it that like your direction in the conversation, which is, I mean, it's fine, whatever, but it's not what other people want to say. I mean, I do feel like this is a troll. I don't think that it is. I actually take you far more seriously than that. But anyway, I'll just let it go. I don't know. Maybe just like give it fucking 5 minutes and let other people respond. First, just let people fucking.
here's a question for the room, and by room I mean everyone on the stage and everyone down below. If you look at Hakima's PTR, do you guys think that image is racist in any way?
You got to add the context that she put the PTR to go into an all black room to sit on the stage with the PTR, and I wasn't disagreeing with anything, but they sat in that black room with this PTR.
Who was she, Akima?
Monica.
Shocker.
Well, okay, so Hakima, make the case of how this image in a room full of predominantly black people being on the stage with that PTR, how is that racist? Can you walk me through?
I mean, it portrays a KKK member, right? It's a white sheet, a KKK member. It's giving what she was at.
Are you unfamiliar with the idea that ghosts are represented with a white sheet?
Oh yeah, ghosts not real KKK members. Of course I know ghosts are represented with white sheets, but
Do you think a reasonable-minded person would look at this and say, "Oh wow, that must be a KKK hood"?
yeah, when you add the context of Monica and what she's known for, how she trolls, and she's in an all-black room, you put all
Wait, what is she known for?
the same thing that she put a ransom out for to prove that she's racist. She's known as a racist. No one, I mean,
No, she's falsely accused of being a racist.
So you say some people it's clear to.
Right. And then the submission of evidence is this PTR of yours, which is why I say it's bullshit. Or shall I say? Yes. Damn, hell you two.
We have to disagree. It's all good.
All right, well, let's put it in the chat then.
It's really shameful.
Hold on.
Not funny.
Hold on. You'll get a chance to respond. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Hakima's PTR is racist. Put a 1 in the chat if it's racist. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that that's absurd.
I also wouldn't want to assign it to Hakima, who I think disagrees with it. And so saying, is his PTR racist is also problematic.
I think lots of people in this room, maybe a stranger to all of us, but the assumption is that we're not retarded, Victoria, so I think that we get that.
So JB, you put a 1. So walk me through the PTR that Hakima has and tell me why you think that PTR is racist.
Honestly, well, I hate Monica, so anything associated with her is racist. I like this her.
I defend Monica. I understand why people don't like her. I understand that. I do believe she's a troll. I told her that to her face. But I absolutely disagree that she's a racist. And I've put up cold hard cash for anyone that could prove evidence that she's a racist. I'm gonna say this. I think she's the most misunderstood person on this app.
I agree with that.
Victoria is not everybody's cup of tea, and here we are having a conversation. But if somebody made up some false accusation about Victoria, I would defend Victoria if the accusations were false. I think the claims that Monica is a racist, I think, are baseless.
Well, Victoria also gets pretty privileged. Monica don't have that luxury.
You're gonna make her uncomfortable. She doesn't like compliments. Donald Trump complimented her, and she didn't like.
Well, she don't like compliments from men.
Ron, you say Monica misunderstood. So what is she like? She's not a racist, like people that misunderstand.
I think
What is she?
I'm happy to explain. I think she's bored. I think she's lonely. I think she's a troll. But I also think she's highly intelligent. Not borderline, but highly intelligent. And I think that she knows how to get a reaction out of people. And she enjoys doing that. Hence the troll label. And for people that get triggered easily, they tend to like and they exaggerate the claims about her. And I would love to entertain, like, what is the most ridiculous thing that she's ever done on this app? The thing that you find is beyond the pale? Because I've yet to hear anything that's that bad. The worst thing that I can say is that, she's co-modded in rooms with guys like Sean Coleman, who I think Sean Coleman will be shit. That's my opinion. I also think that Sean Coleman was an intelligent guy, but I think Sean Coleman legitimately had, let's just call them some controversial views. And I would call him out for it. And I think her modding rooms with him, people did the guilt by association thing. And I'm not sure if that's fair, because if you were to ask her about her opinions, I don't think that she should have the same opinions that Sean Coleman had.
To be very quirky, Monica and myself have had this very weird dichotomy or we have been friends, we have been enemies, we have been frenemies, and we have been friends again. There's like this long historic dynamic with the three of us, and she's definitely an acquired taste for Tom. People argue until she's blue in the face. She thinks he's standing on a principle, and I mean, she and I have had these arguments where I'm just like, but Monica, do you just not see where this is not logical? And no, I don't. Like, I agree with you. I do think she's incredibly intelligent. Maybe she reads a lot. I think that she has had an obsession with race discussions. I
Can I just say
an
this?
appeal. Yeah.
I don't think it's an obsession with race discussions. I think she understands that race discussions create opportunities for a troll to trigger people that are overly sensitive. And I think that if there was another way to trigger people as a troll, she would do that. And so I don't think it's the fact that it's about the race. It's about those discussions where you find the overly sensitive people. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe more recent. I think recently as time has gone on, I could say that maybe she's kind of branched into that territory, but I really do think she has like this. She has this obsession of feeling like nobody can make me feel white guilt. Why do I have to feel white guilt? And so I think there's like some weird intrigue to this whole race thing for her. I mean, she and I'm like, Monica,
why would you want to troll people in a conversation about race if you're not a racist? Like, that's a fair question. And I don't even want to speculate, but I'll ask her that. Because I agree that those are the types of rooms that she starts, those are the types of rooms she gravitates towards, and she understands why people think she's a racist. I don't know. I've known actual racists, and I don't think that here's the one common thing that I can tell you about the racists that I've met in my life. They don't hide the fact that they're racist. The racists that I've met, it's not that I don't believe that covert racism can exist, but if somebody is really racist, they want to share. They want to share their opinion. They want to try to convince you that that they're right, and they're very unapologetic about it. I do see ways where people could be covertly racist. Like if somebody was a hiring manager and didn't like particular people for some reason, I could see them being more covert about it. Or covert racism could pop up if you were the person that was like selling a home or renting a home. I think those are things where covert racism pops up. I don't think covert racism is a thing on social media, especially for trolls. I don't think that's a thing. Victoria here. I don't know how we're going to continue. Do you guys see that there's somebody in Chillism that has an image of my PTR? They've taken it on. Do any of you go to Chillism? Anyone? Brad, I know you go there.
Yeah, I go in there.
Yeah, there's somebody named Nathan that is using my image as his PTR. I think he got upset because he's got a crush on Monica, and he found out that Monica likes me more than she likes him. So I think now he's upset.
Yeah, Chillism, that's his house. Wait a minute, what is the, he has your PTR right now? What is the house? That's craziness.
Second Roger, I was in the store. You're asking about children.
Jane, I don't see color.
Wait, Roger, were you asking about chillism? Because I was in a store for an outdoor store. I was looking for Superman. But you're asking about Nathan having your PTR.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like you're emulated. I think he's a bit butthurt by you for calling out his room. And I was going to suggest to him today that if you felt that way, he should challenge you to a debate or have a discussion on stage in one of the rooms. And he seems to think that he's got the better moderator picture. I don't know. He's got an ego a bit, but he's a good lad. He's a little troll. He trolls a lot too. So I think it would be fair. It'd be interesting to have a debate between the two of you.
On what? What's the topic that he I've never heard him like.
Philosophy seems to be his main crux.
He's a clubhouse philosopher. That makes sense. In that room, there was a discussion about Hegel. Did I tell you guys this one? Stop me if you've heard this.
Yes, I've heard it. Yeah, I'm there with you.
Perfect. I won't repeat it then. Reader's Digest version. Two people, 45 minutes discussing find out neither of them have read Hegel, and this is in a room led by somebody that's interested in philosophy. It's a clown show. But yeah, tell Nathan if he ever wants to come into a well-moderated room, he's welcome to come over.
I will. I'll tell him. I mean, I think he should. I think it'd be interesting. I think.
No, his other mods love it over here. Tally loves it over here. And, yeah.
I mean, like the political correctness group, that one pretty much came from chillism. Like Cora came from chillism, so they had good discussions. It's just, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Some of the people do not understand politics. They take Twitter headlines and they don't actually read beyond it. They try to fact check it, but their sole reliance is on ChatGPT, which often is very wrong and doesn't dive into nuances, and which goes to a bigger problem with that. I wish people would actually read a little bit more and look up the references of ChatGPT that it's using. But I mean, they try to discuss politics, and it's literally a progressive shit show where they just scream and rant and rave like, oh, you want to deport all people in this country of a certain color, and it's like, no, that's not what anybody fucking wants. Nobody's ever stated that. And then you have to stand there and argue, and then you just hear all this like, well, Trump said this in 2008 or at some convention, and right now I think they're on with the Epstein. A lot of the people on the left are targeting the Epstein list and the Epstein case, and I find it fascinating because they act as if Trump wasn't a Democrat running around with all of the big Democrat donors with the DNC, and for every picture you find of Donald Trump, you see Epstein with a whole lot of big movers and shakers in there, and so yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be pictures with Epstein and Trump on that list. There's probably some Republicans too, but I mean, I think you guys would have a good debate. A good topic would.
Tell him to come over here. I don't remember him. Like, I don't remember him ever coming into healthy debates. I don't remember him being in any of the rooms that I frequent. And not that I don't travel too far around this app because I find most of the people hard to listen to. But I didn't even know that he existed until like I don't know a couple days ago. And now his way of trying to become relevant is he wants to utilize my PTR. I will say it's flattery, and it'll get him nowhere.
I mean, again, he's not gonna have like that room's a bit of a shit show. 90% of the time, it does. There are people in there. Huey is a good Dewey, and Huey are I know it sounds like a Disney character. These are two individuals. They're very much a great contributor to a discussion. They can go into details. They can talk about it from a plethora of topics, mostly unpolitical, but they can go down and you've got some that probably have experience with law enforcement. They were officers. They have their own views and nuances on it. Don't necessarily agree with all of them, but they can articulate it and point to disparities or point to issues, and then concede on points where they're showing that hey, this isn't necessarily the case. So there are some good people that pop in there from time to time. It's just there are others that just dominate the stage, and you can't. Arguing with them is like trying to change paint on a wall to a different color by screaming at it. It's just an exercise in futility.
Yeah, I don't bother arguing with them, but after listening to them argue about who had the better understanding of Hegel, 45-minute discussion, I went up there and I asked them a few basic questions. It was clear that they had never read. So then I asked them, and the only thing I give them credit for is they both acknowledged, and this was IE concrete, they both acknowledged that they had never read Hegel. And so then, as you can imagine, I, kicked their ass a little bit over that, did some gloating and grandstanding, the shtick, right? You can imagine, don't even have to listen to it to know, like, how that conversation went. But the more interesting part of it was afterwards, their excuse. Oh, hey, Monica, darling, let me get you up here. Hold on. Let me send you an invite. towards the discussion that they had about how you don't need to read something to understand it, and that because they had listened to a podcast or read some third-party analysis of it, that was sufficient to understand the subject matter. Which, before I even asked them if they had read it, like I was listening to them, and it became clear to me because they kept repeating themselves, and like they knew books and they knew chapter titles, but they had no content, and so when I just got up and inquired about a few things, it was like that's total, deflated the little thing, and they acknowledged they never read it, but they would still argue. If they were here right now, they would say that I'm stupid because I'm saying that they can't get a good understanding of Hegel, despite the fact that they haven't read it. It's the fucking craziest thing. If somebody came to you and started lecturing to you about the Bible, and then you said, hey, let's turn to chapter blah blah blah, and then you found out that they never opened the book, and they've only maybe they went and listened to John Hagee, right? Like all of a sudden that makes them like an expert on the Bible. Same shit. It's just fucking weird. Anyways, Monica, how you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
We're doing very good. There was some Monica hate earlier, and I squashed a little bit.
No,
I'm
not Monica.
I put my broad shield in front of you. It's the typical stuff. Monica's a racist, and then we asked for evidence. We got one piece of evidence that was submitted. It's Sekima's PTR. Yeah.
Isn't that cute? Serendipity. Isn't it funny? Oh, it's so cute.
Hey, don't frame the argument that I was calling her racist. You was making an argument. You just said she was racist, but you actually put your PTR. So I did not trust you.
That is true.
This is true. This is true, but that's because Monica was not here, and you and JP were doing the thing where you guys make it sound like Monica somebody she's not. All I said, I said that she is the most misunderstood person on the app, and the thing that you guys misunderstand is that while she's a troll, she is not a racist, and you have no evidence of that. And the other thing you guys leave out is that she's incredibly well-read, incredibly articulate. She's got a great memory, and she's got fast recall of her memory. Like, Monica is a gift to this app. I just don't understand that.
Like Hermes is a gift to fucking mankind.
There we go. Thank you, Brad, for helping me control my ego. I'm so grateful.
And that voice, hold on. If we were gonna have a contest, who's got the sexiest voice on all of Clubhouse, Monica wins hands down. We don't need to.
You need to get out more in the world, son.
I like Kelly's voice better.
As you should.
Well, look at this. We've got Serendipity, Monica, my girl, and then we have Anne. This is the trifecta of grace, class, and beauty.
You should have just stopped at serendipity.
Hey. I'm crying.
And this is
Brad.
and hold on, before you call your truce with Brad, I want to just warn you that this is a Monica appreciation room. You comfortable?
Yeah, that is telling, fearless.
Can you say something nice about? Can you say something nice about Monica? Yeah.
Yeah, Monica's very intelligent.
There you go. Monica can say something nice about Anne.
She perseveres.
Okay. All right. Okay, Anne, go ahead. Make your amends.
Well, you and Kelly are the best at, squashing these between people, so I'm gonna let you guys do it.
Well, hold on. Hold on. You want me to change the title to Anne and KK reconcile? I can change the title.
If you have to do something like that would be a lot.
You don't want to apologize, sir? power couple for 2026. You guys should work this thing out.
I'll pass.
So I'm still confused why people who have disagreements with other clubhousers are so invested in other clubhousers squashing beef. It's a puzzle. Well, but the matchmaking is a lot. And it's like, you get to hate who you get to hate. Like, it's not okay for people to have personality differences that they just don't get along.
Exactly. See, in Mojo and Kelly, they dipped their toe into some fire. And they were like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. But we just thought that, you guys would work it out.
Some people tend to hold grudges on this app, like I'm not a gossip guy. I think I won't name any names. But the other day,
You can mention me. I'm Irish. I hold a grudge for fucking eternity.
there you go. Well, don't hold a grudge to me if I might tell you next time I see you in the face there, no matter what you say.
You're always a welcome go raw. We'll figure out a way to get dinner. I won't cook, but I promise you'll have a good burger. We'll have a good time, and it'll be great.
Give me some whiskey. I like it. For some reason, Irish accent has always been my favorite accent to do as a voiceover guy. But so anyway, the greeting that I saw me in this other room, I was like, am I the only one who just saw that? It was a female. Put in the chat. She joined one of these rooms. It was one of the typically conservative rooms. And this particular female put in the chat, hey everybody, love to everybody, blessings to all the non-hoes in the room. And I copied the message and put one of those like thinking, emojis, like, huh? And then somebody else also caught that too. They're like, yeah, Lewis, I thought that was a weird greeting too. I have an idea that kind of might have been directed towards, but I thought that was a riff from like season 1 on Clubhouse. It is wild how grown-ass adults can hold grudges for so long thinking that you're actually getting over on somebody. The only energy that you're sucking out of someone is yourself when you hold a grudge.
I like holding grudges, for instance, if you volunteer, which I like on the line to help somebody, it's like I'm just shutting the shelter down, and then they turn around and go, guys, ready here, and as they can't get it by you, and they're trying to put it on full display for people, take advantage, and to, kind of get a clout along with the media. I think I'm entitled to hold a grudge, and like I said, I'm Irish. I will hold a grudge even after I am dead. It will not matter. Grudges are forever.
Right, would you say that's like, you don't forgive and forget? Like you don't forgive, like you forgive, but you don't forget.
And he doesn't forget. But what I'm saying is that, when you have a friendship with someone who actually care about them, their well-being, and there's gonna be times where you butt heads and you do behind closed doors, and then sometimes things don't go that way, where the other person that you thought was your friend wants to expose it to everyone and make it everyone's business, and that's unfortunate.
Monica, are you fascinated that I'm SAG union, or was that sarcasm that you
No, there was a well-known creator known as voiceover guy, VOG. So when you say, when I play voiceover guy, and I'm like, play, but, oh, you are a voiceover guy. Thanks for clarifying. Do we need a topic, or, he's changed the title, ladies?
I got a random fun story for everybody that's actually outside our beautiful red, white, blue states. A surgeon, not somebody who does good for gas, a surgeon in England chose to have his own legs amputated in the guise of that it was some sort of disease that required him to do so, even though he was perfectly healthy. And he filed 2 false insurance claims in the amounts of like $200,000, $250,000 each. He was caught. He's been let go from the hospital, but he is now for the rest of his life. Not only did he not get his bag, but he's got artificial legs. Like I don't know, it's like real life Black Mirror.
That's crazy. You said that was a fun story?
Well, I mean, the only person harmed was himself, you know? Like, it's just the extent of greed some folks will go to do. I mean, yes, I can laugh at that guy.
Do you think he had that mental illness where people think that their limbs don't belong to them, that they need to be cut off? Do you know which one I'm talking about? The mental condition.
Yeah, I've heard. It doesn't sound like it, like that phantom, and he literally, I think he even went on talk shows.
Hey, Sarah.
You know,
Sarah, if you could go in the room and tell them, hey, American is blocked from the room, it's probably Kelly. Hekima.
No, it was not.
Serendipity.
Like this.
Who knows? But if you could go into the Moth in Roger's room and say, hey, John Kitover tried to get in, but somebody on stage has him blocked.
Did they
I should buy.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I can buy a 3rd house with this scam.
Did they revoke his medical license too? Because if he's, yeah.
I think so.
Very strange story.
He was released from the hospital, and the hospital president put out a message immediately on social media saying he's no longer with us, and sent a message reassuring all this nut job's former patients that, you know, he, as far as we know, he was a licensed surgeon. He wasn't lying about that, so please don't think the care that you were given by this lunatic was less than.
Can you imagine recovering from a surgery from this guy and reading on him on the news what he's done? You'd wonder if they actually removed your appendix. You'd like, are you sure? We good?
Hey, sorry to interrupt.
John Kitover
Edmund,
has a room that's for people who are blocked in the muff.
Edmund asked me to tell you guys he wants to come into the room, but he can't because somebody with a mod badge has him blocked.
What's his username?
It's me. I have him blocked.
Can you
Yeah, but you're not a mod.
It was a joke, Monica.
I thought with the anonymity that I had unblocked all his troll accounts.
I think it's American something.
They put the link in this, let the lunatic surgeon in the chat. It's, yeah, you truly can't make this stuff.
It's not me. So, I mean, y'all can, if you want to send me the profile he's using right now, I can double check, but I just checked. I don't see any of his accounts in my block.
He was in the room with me yesterday, and I haven't changed anything.
American Party. I think that's the one he's on.
Thank you, Sarah. So yeah, with the new features rolling out on Clubhouse, you can block people, but it really doesn't. If they're in the room before you get in the room and are a mod, really it's not stopping them from accessing you. Which, okay.
Driving, maybe I need to check.
This stage reminds me of the bumper sticker coexist.
So am I like the pentagram that's on that?
Yes.
I'm afraid to ask, Mojo, so where am I on that bumper sticker?
I'm the star, Dave.
I don't know, Moose, where you're at. You'd have to identify, but there's at least, I'd like to think of...
Yeah, Sarah, I can't get in. Somebody's got me blocked.
I don't know, the 3 Abraham.
Probably David.
Symbolically.
But American Party is blocked from that room. But thanks for calling it out.
Did you call dibs on being Muslim, Monica?
No, I was asking him who would the Muslim be? Who would be the Islamist?
JR, what up, Celestial Being JR?
Ali Akbar. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Can we get, it's, yeah, no, it's not how you say it, but, can we give them the best
No.
practice?
Can somebody, David, check your.
Okay, in the chat is the link to the American Party profile. I'm pretty sure he's listening in. So it can be a tactic to derail the stage that we all focus on trying to get him in, because
Hold on. He probably wants to come in here and talk about his campaign to be governor. Or not governor, run for Congress. I think that we should give him equal airtime and allow him to make his pitch of why he would be good for Congress.
he's welcome to. I'm not stopping him. I just think that sometimes he plays games and he could be lying about not being able to get in.
This
Because
is
that's
one of
happened
your,
before.
this guy's one of your conservative pals or conservative circle.
It's alright. It's her ex-lover, so I mean, like, to be fair, I guess.
Careful, Brad, before we open the door to ex-lovers. Careful.
Go ahead, open up all the door. What are you gonna do? Talk about my late life? Is that what you're
No, I don't talk about deceased spouses.
Oh, okay, so then I would probably shut up if I were you.
You opened the door. I put a foot in and you're starting crying. Like, don't open the doors you don't want open, Brad. That's all.
I'll open it. Please practice with the vest. And I mean, I'm sorry, John left you. I admit left you. I mean, hopefully it was amicable. From what I heard, it was just it was a heavy burden.
Take the deeper espresso you have today. Ding. All right, do we want a topic?
That was
Hey, Bren.
Monica, why did you do the upspeak when you were asking a question?
I thought that too. It was very British.
I don't know. I sometimes have a problematic vocal fry too.
I mean, if it's obvious you're asking a question, you don't have to do the upspeak.
Blocked from the room. Somebody on stage has me blocked. This
Okay,
is
so
John
no new
Kitover,
topic.
aka
Got
American Party, and Monica is a fat pig.
It's amazing you come into a room where Roger has a topic on the table. He's already discussing the topic with multiple other people, and you're like, "Oh, we need a topic." As if somehow everybody is waiting in
So
anticipation.
sour.
Jordan Peterson quote you're going to give, and think somehow you're
by
going to
the
be
way.
considered intelligent.
By the way, Brent, Jordan Peterson has a new video out. He reads There's No Such Things as Dragons again. An updated reflection upon it. I love that guy. Thanks, Brad, for reminding me. You're a hero today, Brad.
I'm a hero every day. I just wish I could have passed on saving your ass once upon a time.
We got green in the month. Green is in the month.
My goodness. How often does that happen?
I'm just laughing that I came into a room and the very first thing I hear is Monica say, "Who's the Muslim?" I have no context, and that was amazing. Better remind Hakima she's Huntington now.
That was Mojo's joke.
Bren, this is not your first time in the muff. We've established that you have children, so some people might be surprised by that, but I'm not. The only person who was uncomfortable about the title of this house was, is she here? She's not here. That was Victoria. Victoria is not comfortable within the muff. I tried to explain to her the etymology of the term. She didn't accept that. She found it offensive. But I think the rest of us adults, we can enjoy being in the muff.
You tell her nobody wants her ginger muff anyways.
I mean,
mean, Mojo, if you're debriefing presidents left and right, you don't have time for this tomfoolery of these kind of rooms.
That's a very valid point. Britton, let me ask you this: what outside of Joint Chiefs of Staff, Vice President, National Security Advisor, who else gets to the situation? Because Victoria claims she's been there multiple.
What? Victoria on this app, Victoria?
Yeah.
She doubles as a general, apparently.
The situation room? She said that? Oh, good lord.
3 times. And the final time she was in there, it was with President Trump, and he did something that made her feel uncomfortable.
And she confirmed it on stage because I didn't believe it at first, and she stated it again on stage today. And what makes me nervous is the fact that if she was true, that batshit woman was like in the situation room advising what exactly a military operations around the world, because that would scare the fuck out of anybody.
Does she not, like, I get people have made some crazy claims on this app, but does she not understand, like, how tight of an entry list that fucking room is? And it's not somewhere they just go take a coffee break because they feel like it. Like, you've not ever been in there, bitch. Like, but that's not.
She's in the situation room, and the president's asking her a question, and she's like, "Oh shit, I just got a Clubhouse ping. I gotta take this. I'll be right back, Mr. President."
See, that's where people are just out of their fucking minds, though. Like, she could say that she, briefed a president or spoke to a president. They get spoken to in a lot of places. Now, I don't think anyone would believe Donald Trump listened to 2 minutes of her nonsense, but the situation room, clearly she doesn't understand how that works.
I think Trump would have secretly had her killed. They met.
What was she? Here's my question, Roger. What was she saying she's an expert in that she was consulting on?
She knew what the hell was because she didn't want to dox herself. But it all started with she talked about.
Is Mojo in the Matrix, or is that me? Oh shit! You see, Victoria, she got the far reach. She knows CIA agent. She's knocking you off the app, Roger.
Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, cool. So, Abby had, first of all, she made the claim that, Victoria made the claim that Donald Trump makes women uncomfortable. And then Abby said, well, I met Donald Trump and he didn't make me feel uncomfortable. And then so Victoria responded, well, when I met him, he made me feel uncomfortable. So then it was the obvious like, well, and then said, well,
no.
And then when we started drilling into it, she's like, she started down and said,
Roger, you're fading out. You're cutting in and out.
All right, am I better now?
Yep.
Okay, so then she makes the claim that that she's been in the situation room. This is where Donald Trump made her feel uncomfortable. And then when we started asking questions about the situation room, she started making up this story about how, well, that's not the first time I've been there. In fact, I've been there for 3 different administrations. And then we're asking her why, and how, and like why would they, what she's an expert in and that they would want to hear from. And she didn't want to talk about that because that would reveal too much information about her. But she said she'd been there with Obama, Biden, and Trump.
It's like people that have real money, like all the posers on this app. Yeah, some of them definitely have money, sure. But people with like real money, like with your name is DuPont or Rockefeller, like this is what they don't talk about. Money. They just do. People that are actually, have security clearance to go to the situation room don't talk about it to anyone else. They probably don't even talk about it with their other colleagues who don't have that access, let alone going on fucking Clubhouse and saying you've been in the situation room multiple times, but I can't disclose. I signed a couple of NDAs. I signed NDAs as a voice voiceover guy for not disclosing like what a video game material script might be before the game is released. But the amount of clearance you need to get to the Situation Room and all the shit you have to go through, they probably have to go through additional background checks. Nobody goes on Clubhouse or social media talking about the Situation Room unless they're, well, a little mentally unstable.
Well, and it would be bad. I'm glad I was in the library, Roger. And it would be bad enough to make the statement once, but like to double down on it, and then 3 administrations. So the Democratic administrations twice and a Republican administration once needed you in a situation that was so dire that you got dragged into the Situation Room. No, just period. Even if she was an expert in something that the government actually would need, you're not going to be the expert brought in by a Democratic and a Republican fucking administration. Like, no. I already don't care for her, but that's some extra nonsense.
And I don't even think that you'd be allowed to bring in coffee as an intern or as a page or whatever the gophers are at that level. I don't even think you'd be allowed to do that. Briefing the fucking president on war games.
So, something that came out of that conversation in a back channel was somebody sent me a message that said it must have had to do with China, and then I responded, like, how would you know that? And they told me, I have no idea if this is true, but they said that she is fluent in both Mandarin and Cantonese. Maybe as a translator? I mean, that's the only thing I could think of if there were any truth to it. But does anybody know if she's fluent in Mandarin and Cantonese?
That I think she is. But I think she is. I remember back season 1, she was in these rooms that I think was only, Chinese or Mandarin speaking. But again, let's say that is true. She's just a translator. I mean, that would have been easier. Actually just there as a translator would have been more believable. But either it's a chip on the shoulder and she's trying to impress everybody. But I still don't think there's actually someone on this app that I used to go into these comedy improv rooms. She's also a little borderline cuckoo, but the things that she's alluded to for her job working at, she's like, oh yeah, I've been in the Pentagon, I've been here and there. You think she's fairly hyper intelligent in math, so she might be a mathematician for FBI or something like that, but she keeps it very limited. She's like, oh, I'm not briefing, I'm not hanging out with the president. She says, hey, anyone who she's ever been with, she just says, I have clearance to such and such buildings, and keeps it, she's not talking about
What it is with her, she has a great recipe for pork fried rice.
But even then, she wouldn't be advising the president on the translations. That would be handed up to senior levels.
Yep.
She would be told to be silent if she was in the room, and then she would just go, and she's not being brought in, and they wouldn't bring necessarily a translator. And I doubt she would rise on translation. I'm just going to say that out loud. I don't think she would pass the clearance background. I think she's just a cat lady. That's the extent.
They're definitely not bringing in a fucking civilian translator. That's not happening. That's not it.
That's correct, because we have translators in the military and in the CIA itself. That's all they do, and those individuals have much higher clearances than she would ever hope to obtain.
I mean, I think even those translators that work at the UN, right? You see all the world leaders with headphones on, listening to the translators for their language. I don't even think they are civilian. I don't know for sure, but I don't think they are civilian roles. I think they must be must go through many hurdles. Because you can be translating whatever the fuck you want. What's actually not saying if you're a lunatic or if you have a political agenda that you don't agree with whatever is being said in the meeting. So, oh wow, that's.
Does anyone follow Vigilant Fox on X? He's a news aggregator, and every day he does
sorry. I follow him.
There are some people, when I post a news link from X, automatically dismiss it because it's from X, and I don't know why they don't understand that X is where all the breaking news is now. They're relying on mainstream media. I'll even post articles from mainstream media from X, but when they see the X link, they dismiss it, and I'm like, you guys don't understand that that's the news organization that you like?
Yeah, Jamal.
I'm drinking a Happy Dad hard iced tea, and I cannot tell you how much I don't recommend it. It tastes like water.
I had what's called a Rev Up. It's a little kiosk coffee / whatever beverage stand, and I had one of those today, and it was a 32 ounce blue raspberry Rev Up. So it's like a 32 ounce energy drink, and I don't know if I'm just getting immune to this stuff, but I don't feel revved up.
You stayed unrevved. That's too bad.
If you need 32 ounces of it, Roger, that's an inefficient energy drink.
Yeah, I typically like the 300 milligram Black Rifle coffee, iced coffee in a can, or the Celsius. Those are good. But the Black Rifle coffee, that one's good.
I like the Black Rifle coffee. I just make it in a pot and grab a cup, but I think whatever happens, I just plain old fucking coffee.
With you on that, I just enjoyed a nice afternoon cup of coffee. I can't do to each their own. I cannot do those energy drinks, all that chemical. I mean, coffee's not, does increase your heart rate, but those energy drinks, I mean, at least there's actually some antioxidants in coffee, but those energy drinks, man, it's not, no.
I kind of like just maintaining. At this point, I like to start my day with 300 milligrams of caffeine, and then consume about another 200 over the course of the afternoon. So about 500 milligrams a day of caffeine.
When it comes to coffee, is assuming it's like, hey, what are you doing, 8 ounce or 12 ounce? You're supersizing me right out of the gate. What are you doing?
So I start with the 300 milligram Black Rifle coffee, so that's how I get that. And then the other 200 milligrams I get through Diet Coke.
So the first one is about 4 cups of coffee that you're taking.
300 milligrams is approximately 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah, 75 milligrams. It depends how it's brewed.
Right, that's true. Dark roast, medium roast, light roast, all that. Wow, 4 cups. That's
Not the roast, it's just press tart brewed. This drip.
I do the French press, or I do the pot on the stove, or I just boil water, throw the coffee grounds in there, dump a half a cup of cold water on top of it, and then the grounds sink to the bottom, then I scoop out the cup. That's pretty much the easiest way for me to make coffee.
Cowboy,
I don't know how
call that cowboy coffee.
Yeah, yes sir. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't even mind the ground. Like, I just chew them up and eat it. It's fine. I mean, I've been camping where I've had to chew the beans themselves, because that's all somebody had, because they were supposed to bring coffee, and just chewed the beans up in my mouth and then just added water and drank it down. It's fine. It just going anymore.
I've just gotten to the point where if I don't get enough caffeine, then I'll get a headache, like a withdrawal headache. And so now, like, I just maintain the 500 milligrams a day. Eventually, I need to get down off of it, but it's not worth going through, like, I probably have to go through a good 3-day withdrawal to, like, get myself.
Mojo, are you one of those guys that can drink coffee like 5 minutes before bed and sleep like a baby?
I I take my vitamin before bedtime, washing it down with a 16-ounce Diet Coke.
Why don't I just quit the Coca-Cola? Like, that shit will fuck you up. Like, just go to water. Like, what's wrong with water? Juices. That shit's good. I mean, like, water.
Juice has more sugar than the Diet Coke.
Water has no sugar.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, the reason you probably have the headache is because you're dehydrated.
It's a caffeine withdrawal.
Well, Manja, you're not a big drinker, and I think you said a few times that were you not drinking